there has been a big movement going on in this industry called Hotspot 2.0 standard. What it is basically all the telecom operators, big telecom operators around the world, they have got together and they are defining a standard where they will be using Wi-Fi as a technology as an integral part of the telecom industry. And when that happens, Wi-Fi will be seamlessly integrated into the telecom world and will be an integral part of it. So I think the answer to that is yes, these technologies are going to coexist. LTE will be when you are mobile, when you are traveling, and Wi-Fi when you are indoors or when you need more data throughput, or we need to transmit a large amount of data. Wi-Fi is still an option. 3G and 4G just are not yet capable enough to do that kind of traffic transfer.
Rishi, we'll hold you at the mic. One more question for you. This is from Karan again. How are you guys doing targeted advertising?
Karan seems to be answering a lot of very deep questions. Yes, targeted advertisements, there are different ways of doing this. One is a very simple way, is that you flash an ad in front of the customer. But these days there is something called content adoption thing coming up, which is you understand where the customer is coming from, what context the customer is doing, and because a lot of this traffic passes through our devices, we have a lot of visibility into that. Obviously we have privacy issues to be taken care of, but nevertheless there has been a lot of research going on in this area, whereby you use the intelligent way of showing ads and non-intrusive ads to the customers while they are browsing at public hotspots.
Anirudh, this question is for you again. This is from Nitin Joshi. How do you plan to select your customers? What kind of due diligence you would do to avoid non-payment and delayed payments?
Basically, we would avoid small builders in the residential segment. That is the area of concern for us. We will focus on commercial segment and the industrial segment more, where there is a professionalism and where budget is ready before the construction starts, before the project starts. So basically that takes care of the payment issues. In residential segment, builders typically launch the project and then ask for the money from the customers. Then again, before completing the project, they invest in some other projects. So we will change the focus basically to address this problem. Thank you.
Santosh, again, questions for you. Can you describe a use case of your product usage? And there's no name from the person asking the question.
The use case is actually in multiple formats, but I'll take the simplest one. It's enrichment of data. So I will go. Let's say you're a large IT company having a lot of data being acquired out of events, out of telemarketing campaigns that your team was working on. Mostly people store data which is of leads, which is passed to the sales team, and the data which is targeted is just kept at the back burner. And when you have a new campaign, you tend to build data again. There's a huge cost that is spent on building that data. We consolidate all of this data and then we make sense out of it. We make it a unique list of prospects and then share it with the customer in an instance which is created for the customer, wherein it's updated over a stipulated period, over a period which is defined by the customer. This data can be then used for marketing campaigns, and the sources could be any. One of the sources is a web form, wherein we optimize the web form, wherein we make minimal fields and people can just enter first name, last name. The rest of the data is captured by our platform and is added to this instance. So that's how we keep on accumulating data for the customer, and we build the prospect base for them.
Okay, one more question for you. This is from Ajay Bhagwat. How would you get access to customers to reach a 70 million by 2017?
Wow. So yes, that's a question that we've been thinking upon. But fortunately, since we started March 2014, we just launched version 1.0, reached out to existing customers of QED, and we got good traction. So the product and the idea got validated. We got good contracts. The customer seems to be referring us to other customers. That's one source which is reference. We are building channel partnerships in the US as well as in India, wherein people are going to promote our product. We are also building our own sales team through which we are targeting. And we are also building native apps within the most popular platforms which are used for sales and marketing, which will drive further consumption of our product within these platforms. So that's the channels that we have identified as of now. This would be direct sales, channel partners, and these technologies which are already available, building native apps in that.
Well, let's complete the curiosity Karan has had, right? So, how do you provide support to small-scale industries? Can you explain? How do you provide support to small-scale industries?
Small-scale industries, we have plans for providing off-the-shelf product because we understand that for small-scale industries, customizing a product would be too expensive. So as of now, for next couple of years, we are focused on mid-ranged and large-size companies. Post solving their problem, we are going to have off-the-shelf product which would be customizable, wherein they would be able to choose their own source of data based on the cost of data acquisition, and then create their own version of lead enrich for themselves. So that's what we are going to do, but that's 2 years down the line.
Thanks. We threw the questions that have come up so far. Any other questions? If you have, I can still have a couple of questions quickly from the audience. Any would like to, even if you don't pass, please go ahead.
You have arrived at your investment requirement or funding requirement of 3 to 4 million US dollars. How that has been arrived at?
That's where I think Ty has helped me a little bit. As I said, when I started off, we thought that we are profitable, we can grow with this venture and we can scale up and we'll do the organic growth that we've been doing for the last several years. We have run these numbers. Primarily, most of that would be needed to invest in R&D and in sales and marketing because we find that a lot of our market is in Western countries. About 80% of our revenues today come from in Northern America and Europe. So we will have to have a point of presence there. Today it's all been virtual, phone calls or meetings and things like that, but I think it's imperative for us to have a sales office or a salesperson there, and hiring a salesperson in these countries definitely will take some dollars. So there has been, all those calculations have gone in and a spreadsheet has been created to come up with that number.
Okay, with that I think you know the names, you know the faces, and after the session I'm sure you know that you can catch hold of them. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out and ask to them. So I'll ask you to remain out here. I think with that, let's move to the next phase of our session here today evening. And for that, I'd like to invite, first of all, Mr. Ramadurai to the stage. Mr. Chandrasekhar, I'd like to invite you to the stage, please. Ajay Bhagwat, as well as Vishwas Mahajan. Yeah, I'm sure Mr. Ramadurai would have his own comments about, what he really feels about this. And I'm sure that Kiran, during your session, right, you will have Mr. Ramadurai sharing that out with the audience also. But right now what we'll do is we'll do a small presentation of the certificates that we have. First of all, I'd like to invite Anirudh DK to come and collect his certificate. Santosh Abraham, QED. And Rishi Dhare from Wi-Fi Soft. Thank you very much. I'd like to now call upon the mentors who are part of the Nurture 2.0 initiative. So to start off with, it is Ajay Bhagwat, who is the lead mentor for the 2.0 Nurture initiative. Ajay. I'd like to invite Ajit Patil. Ajit, can you join us here? And I'd like to invite Mr. Chandrasekhar to give away this mentor the certificate. Kiran Deshpande. Invite Nitin Deshpande. We have Ravi Nigam. And let's invite Sunil Nikha. I have the advantageous position of inviting myself, so thank you. By the way, I'm Ajay Hiraskar. If you missed that earlier, thank you. I'll request the mentors to proceed back to the seat. Mr. Ramadurai, Mr. Chandrasekhar, request you to your seat again. We'll just quickly finish up a couple of presentations. I'd like to invite Ajay Bhagwat to come on stage now.
So good evening, everyone. I think Vishwas talked about the Nurture initiative, and just to recap, basically, TIE Pune has been running a very successful mentorship program, which is typically, a TIE member can request time with one of the mentors, and we would spend maybe